Hello everybody, welcome back to another Raider tutorial. Now, this one's I've been asked to do and I thought, yeah, it could be really helpful. So this is my routine before starting an edit, you know, how to set up before you begin. So just before I get into it, as always, I'm going to plug the Discord. This is the best place you can come learn. You know, I'll be helping people in here all the time, as you can see, not just me. Thank you very much, Shockwave, for this. As well as, obviously, there being practice replays for you to come and grab, play around with, and resources that I'm going to be updating soon enough, do not worry. Also, I've got a bit of a cold, so bear with me. So let's get into this then. I'm going to load up After Effects, but whilst that loads, I'm going to get into my first point today, which is making a directory for the project. Now, what this helps with is organization. It really helps to know where everything is, to go and change stuff later on, so you know exactly where your project files, your footage, everything is. So I'm gonna hop into my file explorer. I'm gonna go to, I've got my directory set up here, After Effects, and then projects, and you can see here I've got all my projects. All of these project files are ones I know I'm probably not going to come back to. You know, they're not montages or anything, they're just one-offs. But these are all projects. So I'm going to make a new one for this video. I'm going to call it tutorial. Now, obviously, you're going to call this whatever you want. Maybe something to do with the team it's for. I don't know the name of the montage, most likely. But yeah. So when in here, I always create a folder called pf. I do one for the replays. So whatever replays I get, I will download them directly into here, and then I can come back and copy them. I'll show you an example real quick. What did I do in it? Freeze roster reveal, replays. I've got them for each of the players. Sorry, that should be just Chubb. There's no S. Anyway, doesn't matter. For each of the players. So if I wanted to, you know, come back and change it, I could just copy these, go to documents, and obviously to where my replay directories for Rocket League, and just, you know, drop them in there. Same for this. So yeah. That's why that is really, really helpful. So along with those two, I'm going to create another folder for footage. Now this is depending on how lazy you are, but I do it for bigger projects usually, for ones, or if you're going to be selling anything, you know, this is really helpful. So for blue, you can see I've got all my footage here. So all I do is when I have recorded my footage, so this is where all of my recordings saved to, as you can see. All I'll do, I'll actually just click on it, Control C, and then Control V in here. So I'll do it as if. So say I've just recorded something. Bang, let's head to footage. Just recorded my footage. Paste it in here. And I then drag. Okay, you go to View, Large Icons if you want it to look like this. Because otherwise it will look a little bit annoying. So you can't see an image of it. So, yeah, and then you drag this into After Effects. That's what I normally do. So I've got footage, replays. If I use Cinebuddy, I'll make a Cinebuddy folder, of course. I'm trying to think of what other ones really quickly. Sorry, it's hard to remember them off the top of my head. I do CC if I'm not using my own. So I took this CC from JLo. He sent me this one. But I didn't end up using this one, actually. This is not the one I used. I changed it. So, yeah. Reshade. This is very good. I did use this. This is the Bad Vibes Forever Reshade from JLo. I did use this. So, yeah, that's important for that. Song. Song's a very good one. And that should be kind of following up on this. But, yeah, you want your music in here. So if you've got a song, drop it in here and then drag it into After Effects. So obviously this is probably the main one you need, but yeah, that's probably all you're going to need for this part of the tutorial. It just helps really organize stuff, so as I said, you can come back to it. So once in, I'm going to make a new composition. Obviously this is where you can name it whatever you want, so I'll just name it tutorial. And what really helps is once you've made this, coming straight over to your project window over here. And now we're going to create some folders over here. So I'm going to create a folder, go new folder, and go comps. Now automatically this is a composition, so we're going to drag that in here. Now whenever I make any new compositions, like if I do this and then I want to make a new composition, they will automatically go in here. Look, red solid, this is that composition I just made. And if I uncomp it, there you go, it's not here anymore. Make one for footage, so if I wanted to drag my footage in, sorry I clicked on the wrong one, blue. Like so, I just drag it in like this, and then bang, bang, ready to go. Same for sound effects, same for overlays, same for the music. I will also really quickly make one called stuff. So this is for obviously stuff that doesn't really fit into any of these. Like if I've got a screenshot of some sorts, maybe, I don't know, a screenshot for a thumbnail. Footage, it doesn't really fit in there. Overlays doesn't fit in there, and obviously doesn't fit in the rest. So, you know, it's really handy for stuff that just doesn't really go in the rest, so you don't have things floating around in here. But yeah, that should be all. Intervening radar here, because there's one thing I actually forgot to mention, which is really important. After you've just set everything up and you're ready to go, before you drag anything in, you've just done these, blah, blah, blah. Hit Control S on your keyboard and it will bring this up since you haven't clicked it yet. Now go find your directory. So for me, and I deleted already. So for me, let's say it was blue. You want to find a PF, or in my case, it was just PF, wasn't it? So I'll do it again. So PF, just like this. Go inside, name it what you want. So tutorial, and then hit enter. Now, whenever, you know, you make a change like this, if you hit Control S, it'll just save straight to that directory. Perfect. Now, after you've set this up, I'm now ready to go. You see, I can now go record my cinematics, blah, 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 and get them all in. Bring in my sound effects, bring in my music, bring in my overlays. So last thing is setting out markers for the beginning. So if I've got a song that I want to follow, I'm again going to go and use the roster reveal song. Drag it into music. And let's bring it in. So the importance of markers, I will never stop going on about this, is so helpful with everything you do. I'm just going to make this composition a little bit longer. We'll go 15 seconds. So markers are extremely helpful with planning what you want your edit to look like. So over here, you can drag a marker. You just hold left click on this symbol here on your timeline and drag it across to wherever you want it to go. Say I want another one when the vocals begin. What could also be really helpful when using markers is waveform. How to bring up the waveform, you just click your clip, click L, and then click waveform here. This can be really helpful of finding the exact moment where to put your markers. So I think he starts right here actually, because I can see a tiny little spike right there. So I'm going to assume that is his voice. I want to do another one here. Do one for the scream. And one for the drop. So now I know exactly how to lay out my footage and stuff like that. I'm going to drag just this clip in from blue. So I can plan out my edit more. Maybe I want, maybe I don't want this here. Maybe I want an opening cinematic, some text. You can see it's very sharp here. So maybe I just have like a little cinematic of the car. Like it just helps with planning overall. Before I've even laid any clips out or recorded anything, I just get an idea in my head of what I want it to look like. There we go. Now for bigger projects, storyboarding can be super helpful. So what storyboarding is, I'm sure you know, did it in primary school, you know what I mean, in middle school. Which is just writing down ideas, maybe making a mood board. This is usually for like passion projects, stuff where there's no deadline, you're just making it for fun. But you want to put your all into it, you know what I mean? Storyboarding can be really helpful. I think I might have one storyboard, it might take me a second to find it. But yeah. That is probably going to be it for today's tutorial. Hopefully you found this helpful on how I set up. Obviously now I've got all of this set up. got my directory set up. I can obviously hop straight into the editing, and I've got everything ready to go. So yeah, if you found this helpful, please let me know. I've really enjoyed helping people recently. Really glad that I have been able to help people recently. I've loved the support. If there's anything else you'd like to see, like me to do, let me know, and I will do my best to get back to you. Right, thank you very much, and it's a goodbye from me.